Hello, my name is Amy Sturkey. I'm here with Alex Robinson. We're continuing our interview, talking about his life now. And so far, I've just been enjoying this so much, I couldn't wait to come back to talk to you again. So tell me about some of your early developmental milestones. Do you know, for example, when you sat and when you stood and when you walked and all that?
I had to ask my parents. I knew some of them, but not all of them. And I might have to consult my notes. I was able to sit propped up at 18 months.
At 18 months.
I was able to roll over I rolled over at 1 year.
Rolled over at 1 year.
Was able to stand with help and with a walker at 3 years old.
Really?
I walked with braces and a walker at 3.5 to 4, which is around the time of the Rhizotomy. And I was able to walk with braces at 6.
Wow. Okay. I just want to say that you must have worked really hard, because typically a level 1 person will walk by 2 years of age, and you walk much later than that, and you still did awesome.
I had really good physical therapists.
And you don't look at me, because like I was at the practice, and there was good there. Sherry was an amazing therapist. But that that just speaks incredibly to the commitment of your family, because it sounds like there might have been moments when maybe you weren't all into this.
Anything that I did not want to do, I viewed as punishment. So physical therapy to me oftentimes was punishment. And I wish that I had not looked at it that way. But absolutely, my parents and my mother specifically fought really hard for me to get where I am now.
And my gut feel then is that you didn't walk independently until after the Rhizotomy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
It sounds like the Rhizotomy was an excellent call for you.
Amazing. Absolutely. My mom actually told me the story. And I do not know the doctor's name that founded the selective dorsal rhizotomy procedure that Dr. Park was trained under. From South Africa, she actually reached out to this doctor. My grandmother read about him in Reader's Digest. If you don't know what Reader's Digest was, because I don't know if they exist anymore, it was these tiny little magazines that you could find in doctor's offices, you could find in the grocery store. And so my grandmother read about this doctor, and she said, she went to my mom and said, this may be a really good option for Alex. And so mom got in contact with him.
Yeah, the South Africa doctor.
He was out in California at the time, and my parents were prepared. They were ready to go. And that doctor mentioned Dr. Park, and he said, he's fantastic. He's the best one I've trained yet. He's in Charlottesville, Virginia. Is that closer to where you are? And she said, absolutely. That's what we ended up doing, was going to Virginia to have the procedure done.
He's in St. Louis now.
But yes, when I went for follow-ups. Yes, when I went for follow-up appointments, it was, and that is what I remember was actually St. Louis, because it was the first time I got to fly. So he was in St. Louis for the follow-up appointments.
And some of the things that go along with cerebral palsy, you mentioned that you didn't wear orthotics. You don't wear orthotics now, but you did as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Did you wear, sometimes people who are involved on one side have one foot that rolls in and one foot that rolls out. Did you wear 2 orthotics, or just on your more involved side?
I think I wore both for a little while, but primarily it was on my right side, and it was all different kinds. It was the full up to the calf with the joint. It was just the heel, like the inserts, the cups.
Uh-huh.
There were several different.
So you started up higher, you think, and got smaller and smaller as you got older. Mm-hmm. And did you ever have to wear a orthotic on your arm? No. So your hand was more minimally involved than your leg? Or, a lot of times Hemis, their arm is more involved because you walk on your leg.
Right.
And so often the hand is more involved because you got another good one. Why use that one?
And that has been something that I have struggled with, was allowing my left side to dominate because it was more comfortable. Physical therapy they would always push me to get my right side more involved. And I've gotten better. It's a concerted effort. It is not something that comes naturally to me, to use my right hand for things.
But I'm sorry, as a physical
You're
therapist,
paying attention.
I know. I'm paying attention. You're using your hands as your gesture.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have to think about that, or is that natural?
No, but I also know that you're paying attention.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They would always say when they would do the gait test as well. Oh, he's beautiful. He's beautiful. He's walking. And Mom would, because he's concentrating on it. He's paying attention. But if you catch me when I'm tired, if you catch me if I'm having a conversation with somebody, my gait is much more pronounced. I think that when we focus on it and we make that concerted effort, we can minimize, I guess. Typing is something that I kind of struggle with.
Okay.
Computer class was a nightmare for me because they want you to type, that will never happen for me. But I still type really, really quickly with my left hand, and I'll use my right hand for certain keys.
Okay. Wow.
So that was something.
I wonder if there's a technique for people.
I've never looked. I have never looked.
For people who type predominantly with just one hand. Huh.
I think that people with CP are incredibly adaptive. We will find ways to make things. If it's not made to work for us, we'll make it work for us. That was something that I really learned from my mom. Is to make it work for you. Adapt it to how you need it to work for you. So that has something I've had to kind of carry through with me my entire life, because the world is still not designed for people with disabilities. It's gotten so much better. It's gotten amazing, the kinds of inventions and things that I see now that are marketed. Adaptable clothing, just incredible things. We have really come leaps and bounds in terms of accessibility and inclusion for people with disabilities. So that's been really, really great to watch too.
Do you have any adaptive devices now in your home to help you?
No, I don't think that I do.
So
but it's
you don't need any help with buttons or belts or things like that.
No, but it's still because at one point I did, and I think it's really important I tend to view things through the lens of disability, and if I can think that it maybe wouldn't be accessible to me if I had a different level of disability, then that's an area that can be improved upon. That is something that's really, really important to me, is that making things accessible as they possibly can be for everybody. And that includes closed captions, that includes making things as accessible as you can and not just people with cerebral palsy, but all types of different disabilities and levels of ability, I think is really important. And I think that we really have come a long way with that. Mm-hmm. But I do not. I don't have really have any kind of adaptive clothing at this point.
Or any adaptive piece of. Let's see. One of the things I forgot to ask was, now some people with cerebral palsy have seizures. Did you ever have seizures?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's good, because that could be life-changing. And I think it's reasonably high percentage of people who have cerebral palsy have seizures.
Really?
It often hits around the time that you're in your teens if you hadn't had them earlier. So I'm so glad that you were able to skip that one. Just thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. If you liked this video and would like to be notified by email when the next video comes out, click the subscribe button here and click the golden bell icon and ensure notifications are enabled on your account.